least bringing in one surprise before we end the draft.
I agree. You know, NIP, Nip Flash are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you can use or say anything you want. I think.
Hey,
at
I met their owner at
Okay.
MSC. He said it's okay. He said if Mirko says it's okay. Just
so
once though.
he has a pass. I don't think I have that, and I do not want to use that. So I'm going with NIP Flash as we head into the third series of the day. The day has been filled with surprises, upsets even, and for this match, we've seen our 3 panelists vote for NIP Flash. So let's see how this goes, because CFU, it seems like they're going to stick with that really early game snowball reliant and objective conversion mindset when it comes to playing, especially with the Bruno in their hands for this game.
Oh yeah, I really like CFU Gaming's draft here. I personally would actually go for CFU Gaming's draft here in the way that they actually can control neutral objectives with the Cho, right?
Yep.
Going up against the Alpha, Cho is such a massive pick, and honestly, the Valentina, we didn't expect the Tigreal to come out for NIP Flash with the Valentina already picked up by CFU, but it does seem like here, Lethal is going to go towards CFU. Emblem-wise, it's the weapon mastery for the Bruno. Full tankiness for Wadu here. Just wants to be the main frontliner up against NIP Flash.
And I'm only thinking about, like, how will NIP Flash even approach what we already all are expecting from CFU in terms of how they're going to play the early stages of the game? Are they still going to stick with those unexpected rotations and whatnot? Because we also know that at the helm, or with JPL and Curtisi at the helm, they typically really go for the more aggressive rotations. But this is a Cho and a Valentina that we're talking about. You mentioned it earlier. This is a really great mid duo if you're talking about controlling the mid lane.
You can see Detective rotating all over again. This is how oppressive the Loyi is. This is why it's always usually actually contested a lot in the first phase. Didn't really expect CFU to let this go, knowing that CFU really likes the teleports. Back in the day, the chip, the Loyi, they actually doubled down on that in their own meta before. In Season 13 of MPLs, we saw the whole chip Loyi combo. Yeah. Now OP, he shoved back. Great Shunpu to escape from that shove.
Yep. So now NIP Flash, they'll be able to set up for this Lord, and this is something we'd probably really expect from them. They're going to play around Hades, really allow him to lead the early stages of the game, but now that Curtisi, he got poked low. Still they get the turtle though, but then...
Yep, Hades going to be caught. Detective finds first blood. JPL locked in with the curtain call, still able to flicker out for now, but OP goes in. Great yin-yang reaction. OP with the body block. Diablo walking forward, finding the kill. That's a double for Detective. It's a 2-for-1 trade for now, but remember, NIP Flash did get that turtle.
Yes, they did get that turtle, and they were able to go for what they wanted to after. This is something you'd really expect from NIP Flash, considering the lineup that they have. But here in the top lane, Vanix, he seems to be having a really good time in playing the lane matchup up against Zing. He nearly has to reset after the damage that he's been able to throw out.
Yeah, once you get the ultimate, it's definitely way easier for you to actually win out on the lane, get that poke in with the Dead Sonata. It does seem like, I mean, for Sing, he has to use the slide tackle forward to actually deal out some damage onto the Granger, right? So we haven't seen this a whole lot. Whenever you see the Bruno, apparently the Granger is the pick. It's currently 1-1. We've seen a Bruno win, we've seen a Granger win.
Yep.
Let's see what NIP Flash can do with it, right? JPL so far, that's the big problem that we were talking about. When you go for the Tigreal against the Valentina, it was a great ult for Z to take.
And so far, we've been so focused on the mid lane, Mirko. Like, we haven't seen some rotations heading towards the gold lane or the XP lane even. It's more of the gold laners, the XP laners, actually rotating out of their lanes and joining the fights we're seeing in the mid lane. And now there might be another one happening soon, especially as Diablo also finds himself nearby the next upcoming turtle. But OP!
Whoa, getting away and dragging down, but it's only on JPL. The burst is there though. Detective makes quick work out of JPL, was kicked over. 15 seconds for the turtle, so JPL should still be able to spawn in again. He already used the implosion earlier. NIP Flash, do they want to still contest? That's a diversion. They do want to ride again.
Oh, wait, detective. Oh, they find him!
And the Spear of Alpha straight into the Yang reaction. Diablo able to get that shut down. Now Sing caught in the Yang reaction again. Hades walking forward, doing some damage, and Sing Goes into the Purify. Diablo knocked up by the Jikundo of Oppi. Great Terrify to combo it down. And NIP Flash, it looked good, but then CFU recovered.
Yep, the Revitalize was there. It was too much to handle for NIP Flash, who seemingly really had to commit since they found themselves in a position where they were surrounded by members from CFU Gaming. So instead of supposedly converting that into a turtle, it seems like they'll have to play safe for now. And Curteasy, C finds him in the middle lane.
It's a solo kill in the mid lane, C! Getting that kill over, even with the Purify, Curteasy unable to escape, and with the turtle, this puts CFU in a great position. Let's see, they walk up, Vanix will be able to clear out the wave, C. They stole the implosion, they know Vanix doesn't have the Purify, let's see, way to drag it over to JPL, the implosion catches him, and that's gonna be Zeke looking for it, Vanix, body blocked by Sing, the bullets won't go through, Z's able to escape Hades, now the Spear of Alpha trying to gap close, Wadu will be the sacrificial lamb, but they keep their carries alive.
The body block, you mentioned it! The way CFU Gaming constantly is able to protect their crucial members. They might have to give up this first tier turret in the top lane, but still there's a great trade provided to us here by Detective. That's the mid lane turret we're talking about. And CFU, they'll gain better access towards the map of NIP Flash. They could potentially scout the members a lot more better. And in terms of scouting, that's something you definitely could rely OP on for. He could just get the information as much as he wants.
Then Shunpu's out, Way the Dragon, and so far, I have to give it to OP, man. He's been able to play the Cho really well. We saw the combo almost to get Hades away from the first turtle. Unfortunately, they didn't time it as well, but it's still, I mean, it was a great idea, great execution. Hades is just crazy on the retribution, but then Turtle 2 onwards, you saw the change of prio. OP started to just go on to JPL so that there were no sets available for NIP Flash to look for onto CFU, and that has created kind of a safe haven, or a safety net rather, for Z and Sing, and yeah, Z, like always on that implosion. OP.
Okay.
Again goes into the back, finds the way the Dragon. Purify baited out. Now C has it. It's going to be implosion over to two members. Spear of Alpha to actually peel out. C will be able to get the implosion down, but it's only on to JPL. Caught in the midst of it all. Will be taken down by Curteasy. Diablo with a vengeance, baiting him into the yin yang reaction. Vanix unable to get the Death Sonata down, and now JPL goes able to shove the diversion to the back line. And Sing goes in with a slide tackle, but now gets caught in the yin yang reaction again. Diablo kiting away. That's the gun down from Vanix as Hades just slashes through them. But Detective walks forward. Now has to dodge away. They gotta play it clean. OP, can he run away? No. Vanix chases him down. Death Sonata, one last shot. Detective walks away.
We saw the sustain from CFU one time, but in terms of these really tricky positions and in moments where they're not exactly at an advantage, it might not be the best idea to pursue these team fights. NIP Flash, they were able to somewhat kite them towards their farm and their jungle, and they were just able to buy enough time. They were the ones who were able to sustain that team fight and surround CFU Gaming, even using the diversion last minute to actually continue that team fight, which was clearly a win for NIP Flash. Now they're ahead in terms of gold against CFU Gaming, and they'll probably start to try and engage in more team fights from this point onwards so that they too could actually get some conversions, they could get some objectives, and they definitely want to secure this first Lord for themselves.
I just want to say, you know, for NIP Flash for Vanix, it just feels like the Granger revamp fits him so well. This pick fits him so well. The old reliable Vanix in the lane who just wants to play safe as well. In this composition, it's so hard to get to Vanix. You bait out the Purify, sure, but you bait out your own Flicker for OP. And then at that time, Z doesn't really have a gap closer to get in. Usually we see maybe a Flicker for the Valentina, but Z has gone for Purify, which is safer, but you can't make those plays. You can't actually dive onto Vanix that easily. There's so much peel for NIP Flash, and you can see the items building up. Hades just walks in, will be able to Spear of Alpha out of there, knows that there is the reaction and the Death Sonata, the poke that we've seen just last game too. Lo Yi Granger seems to be the combination. Diversion, let's see if we catch him. He's still up top. For the siege onto the turret. They will be able to get the turret.
That's 4 members though. Feels easy.
Good spot out. The yin yang reaction catches them. The Spear of Alpha punishes them, and now Hades is caught in the midst of an all-implosion from JPL. Finds two. Opie can only just run away. Vanix needs one last shot. Opie, 1 HP, gets away. The sole member of CFU who survived the onslaught of NIP Flash.
Nearly a wipeout there for CFU Gaming. And as you mentioned, this is the moment where NIP Flash, instead of playing around Hades, they'll start to make some setups for Vanix. And that's exactly what we've seen. A beautiful rotation dispersion combo followed up by a precise Spear of Alpha. Let's check it out in this instant replay. Catching two members immediately. So in as much as Wadu and the rest of the members of NIP Flash tried to go for a counter engage up against CFU Gaming, that was just too much for CFU. They were able to allow Vanix to just really throw all those bullets towards key targets, and they now are actually taking control of this game with the Lord.
It's so much of an advantage with the Lord. The siege potential. You can see the range technically already for Vanix. Another diversion.
Another diversion.
Catch. You gotta be real careful here, buddy. Spear of Alpha from Hades. Oh, he gets the Purify out of time. JPL finds the implosion, and Sing will fall. A yin-yang reaction brings them back. Now without Sing, without Wadu, no frontliner, no main damage dealer, Hades is free to do whatever he wants. Z goes over an implosion, finds Curtizi, but now gets slashed down by Hades. Diablo and Hades. The double D combo is online.
Could this potentially be the fastest game we're about to see this day? They still have one minion wave, but Detective and OP, they might still be able to defend this. So they prolong the game a little longer. But this is a difficult spot for CFU Gaming. We know them to be a team who could really hold on to their advantages, but eventually get some slip-ups or some mistakes towards the late game whenever they already have the advantage in their hands. But this is a different scenario. They're actually behind. They weren't able to capitalize as much on their early game. They were able to for a moment, but NIP Flash just immediately turned things around.
It's the fastest level 15, apparently. There you go. We got some fun facts for you guys. Hades gets it. Another implosion. Red out. JPL gets the implosion again. Brings him all the way back. Sing. So able to slide tackle forward. Now Hades can be kicked in. By the way, the Dragon. And it's a full combo onto Hades. Somehow he's still alive, though. The Worldie will finally bounce onto him. And Sing gets the shutdown. Hades 4Z.
There's a minute left before the next Lord, and I doubt that it would be that felt for NIP Flash, but still we see how they cannot afford to still make some mistakes up against this lineup of CFU Gaming. At that moment, Wadu was well prepared to actually block the members of NIP Flash, and he saw the attempt coming in from NIP Flash. So we've seen consistent diversion plays here for Curtizi. Majority of them were really successful, but at this point in time where you're this much ahead, you really cannot afford to make those mistakes, which would give those opportunities to CFU Gaming.
CFU are just trying to look for trades at this point of the game, right? And NIP Flash, any sort of trade. Whenever they want to walk off their base, they got to think of diversions.
Right.
Where is the diversion going to go? Where's Curtizi going to go? Oh, it's just so tough at this point. They have frontliners who can engage. They have Diablo as a secondary damage dealer who is very tanky.
Yeah.
Anti-Chorus Winter Crown.
Yeah, actually earlier I was thinking there were so many sources of engage for NIP Flash. Like, there are a lot of members who could go in first, but now that they were able to take hold of some Winter Crowns, I'm expecting a lot more playmaking here for NIP Flash. But who will be the ones to make the play? Because CFU, they take control of the Lord pit.
Oh, Z went for the implosion, but Hades goes in for the fight. They get the Lord, but now they're going to lose out. JPL, that's an implosion. Not able to connect now, but it's going to be Wadu caught in the bad spot. Vanix almost taken out by Sing. He wants to go back in. Sing, you mad lad! Oh my goodness! Slide tackles forward, gets the kill! Almost kites away. Detective, he needs one last shot. Vanix and Diablo are so low, but they managed to get away.
Okay, that was a series of unexpected events for both sides. The implosion did not necessarily connect onto Sing, or at least he was able to purify out of it, so he was able to reposition himself and find key targets from NIP Flash. And that very brave play we saw from him potentially could have been a really huge game changer if not for that evil queller from Detective, which really did not connect to those members of NIP Flash who were really low on HP. So now they'll have at least a complete 5-man lineup to defend this incoming Lord, and CFU Gaming may not be able to take an inhibitor turret out of this.
It was a greedy play, man. It was a gamble to play. Sing wanted to go for the slide tackle, perhaps. If he got one last shot onto Vanix, or if Detective got that arrow shot, it would have changed a lot of things, but the gamble so far hasn't paid off. And IP Flash, they're forced back again. The Lord Advantage will get them a few turrets here and there. It'll be a tier 2 in the bottom lane, so at least the gold lead won't be as big, right? We're getting into that equilibrium point for both these teams. I think it's back to what we saw in game 1. Yeah. It's a scaling battle, and then in that case, who actually scales better? I'm confused, right? The Bruno and the Granger. Technically, you have more bullets with the Granger, but you do a bit more damage with the crits. Oh, OP, finding the way to Dragon, baiting out the Purify now. As he walks up, Cortese's gonna fall. Sing's able to cut away, but the guns comes down. Good body block from Detective. Sing almost slashed down by Hades. That's what revitalizes. Vadu goes in. Z is able to shut some damage. Implosion, catching Vanix, but it's a good Purify, and JPL will do the same. Now one last Detonata is what Vanix needs. He comes in with a Rhapsody to take 2 down. Sing going in, baited in by the winner crown. Vanix with the win of nature and a triple to end the fight on. Detective running away, and NIP Flash should be happy with the fight.
I don't know if that answers our question, because in some ways it did seem like it was an unexpected team fight here, which just suddenly happened out of the blue for our teams. There wasn't really an accurate setup coming in from CFU Gaming, and it seemed like even the IMU, or the implosion that was copied here by Z, was just used to actually prevent the members of NIP Flash from chasing down the other members of CFU Gaming. So it was a really reactive team fight that we've seen from both sides. And could this be a question that we really have to ask ourselves? Like, who will be, or who should be more careful at this point? Because there has been a lot of little mistakes that both teams have been able to really capitalize on from each other.
It's all about the punishments, and this time NIP Flash read into that, right? We saw CFU Gaming, they were able to sneak out a Lord earlier by just having more control around the Lord pit. NIP Flash got a bit too comfortable with the diversion. Now though, Marta's walking up with the glorious pathway. JPL catches 2. The Spear of Alpha gets them out. OP though. In the back, it's going to be Detective doing a lot of damage onto the back line. JPL low. Vanix able to get the godlike down. Detective with a dive. Gets caught by the in-air reaction, and Sing takes him down. It's a big shutdown. That was an 8-kill bounty.
JPL
Z is hunting for JPL. That's a shove, that's a conceal, and an escape, but they will concede the Lord to CFU.
It seems like we've been asking who could actually take advantage of these really close team fights, these 5-on-5 team fights a lot more. And you would think immediately, probably Cortese, probably all those yin-yang reactions, but CFU Gaming at that moment, even though they also lost Detective, even though they lost Wadu, they were able to force NIP Flash out of that Lord pit. They now have the Lord in their hands, and they just have to be really extra careful this time, because CFU Gaming, they cannot afford to make mistakes. This is the second opportunity that they've had to actually crack NIP Flash's base open.
And now we question the siege, or maybe the defense even from NIP Flash. They have what it takes to actually defend this. The vengeance will be up for Diablo. Cortese should have to Purify back up, but if CFU Gaming just try to push in the pace, it's gonna be real tough. Z steals away the implosion. JPL doesn't have that big playmaking tool, but you can see the poke already from Vanix. That's a charge into the bottom lane. That base switch should be falling down. Sing very low though. OP finding the way to Dragon. Cortese is down. Vanix on the back line. Z gets an implosion. That was 3 members caught in it, but Vanix is free. Now hitting onto OP with a Rhapsody. That's a double Detective. Gets the Soul Sever. NIP Flash fighting for dear life. Sing able to kite away. It's a wipeout! NIP Flash have fallen, and CFU Gaming continues the upset route.
This day has been insane! Surprises, upsets here and there, and CFU Gaming, they've shown us their growth, just how prepared they are coming into this match against a team who you could not really know how to prepare against, who you would supposedly expect endless surprises from.